wow, it's cooperating. I'm gonna die. The camera's working. I went to Walmart today and actually practiced a wee bit of hypocrisy that ended up being a whatever dear point on the point of my cashier and a laughing point on the young people who had no idea what I was ranting about to my friend on the way out. And that is that the gentleman in front of us used a check to pay for his stuff. So how they do checks now came up in conversation. And it was about how they do all this stuff. They make you sign it, which you should sign your checks, by the way. Oh noes. And I was like, it just came up into how if you pay attention, the American establishment punishes you for trying to use cash. Now, on a side note to that, the one time I got to visit Germany, I was actually punished for not having cash. People there don't like it when you whip out a credit card. They get mad. And they still have the old-fashioned, back then, it was a couple of years ago, but, not too long ago. They don't really have, card readers everywhere, or they didn't at the time. And so America's doing this thing that in Germany, at least, and other parts of Europe that I visited while I was over there, don't. And there are things about how we are punished for preferring to use cash. Cash isn't trackable, For example, they say Bitcoin liberates people punished for using cash. Because if you use a large amount of cash to pay for something or what have you, then, the government's like, where did you get that cash? This, because apparently nobody puts money in the mattress anymore. Except me, apparently. So, if you're curious about how the establishment discourages us using cash, you'll have to do a wee bit of research. And I started looking into it, noticing it years ago. So despite knowing that, and despite a personal resolve to use cash more often, I almost always have to use my debit card, because I end up almost always shopping without preparing in a pinch. And I don't keep my cash in my wallet. I keep it somewhere secret at home. And so I forget to bring it with me as I am trying to learn to use more cash. So I accidentally practiced hypocrisy in that I had forgotten my cash again and I had to buy an item, but it came up and got to talking about how there's this problem with the American establishment and how they really discourage cash. I mean, there's also, and the cashier said to me, well, they're going to do what they're going to do and there's nothing we can do about it. That's actually a hot button with me. Don't say that. Don't say that. People who say that, ironically, are the exact same ones that believe one man, of course, they believe he was the son of God, but they believe one man changed the whole world. They believe this. And they can cite all sorts of examples in written history of one man that managed to change the world. One. Okay? One. All right. But yet, they're going to do what they're going to do, and there's nothing we can do about it. Talk about me practicing hypocrisy because I haven't gotten the habit of carrying cash much yet. That's hypocritical to the max. And not only that, it's sheep thinking, and it's like saying, oh, well, he's just going to beat me. There's nothing I can do about it. I'll just have to let him beat me to death. And the fact is that in the past 5-6 years alone, we the people have proven that no, they're not necessarily going to do what they want to do. And yes, we can do something about it. I'm not talking President Trump, by the way. Although that's another example, because, everything was all set that Hillary was it, and boom, she wasn't. I was surprised even, and I voted for the man. There are, other things. There's, whenever SOPA first started rearing its ugly head, and everybody got together and stopped it, and then SOPA reared its head again. They're going to do what they're going to do. There's nothing we can do about it. But yet, we did about it because one person said, hey, look at this, and the key to one person changing the world is somebody has to be willing to be the first to freaking stand up and do it. And it can be done. So you know what I did? I went on the internet, the magical internet. And I just did a simple search in Google, the one that represses your searches. And I found biographyonline.net, 100 people who changed the world. And I'm going to read them all to you. Are you ready? Obviously, number one, Jesus Christ. Now, for those that believe that he is the Son of God, okay, I get that. He's the Son of God. He would have had the power to change the world. So let's move on. 2, Thomas Jefferson. 3, Mikhail Gorbachev. 4, Lord Buddha. Oops. Now, for those of you that believe that Jesus Christ is a son of God, and with the whole way the Christian religion works, Lord Buddha would not be, but he changed the world. What the heck, guys? Oh, noes. Kind of vice versa if you think that Buddha was it, okay? Winston Churchill, William Shakespeare, Muhammad. Same situation with the Jesus and Buddha thing, I just want to add. Martin Luther King, dun dun dun, can you believe it? Abraham Lincoln.
Nelson Mandela, St. Paul, Adolf Hitler, George Washington, Sri Krishna, Emperor Constantine, Martin Luther, Socrates, Mahatma Gandhi, Karl Marx, Napoleon Bonaparte, Simon Bolivar, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Charles Darwin, Sir Isaac Newton, Confucius, Akbar, Queen Victoria, Conrad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Ramses II, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander the Great. Yes, I know, Alexander the Great. Woodrow Wilson, Christopher Columbus, Marcius Aurelius, Galileo Galilei, Plato, Joan of Arc, Charlemagne, Aristotle, Saladin, Babur, Sir Walter Raleigh, Voltaire.
Not the singer now, the French philosopher then.
Catherine the Great, Mozart, Guru Nanak, Leonardo da Vinci, Louis Pasteur, Leo Tolstoy, Albert Einstein, Ataturk, Pablo Picasso, Pope John Paul II, Margaret Thatcher, Muhammad Ali, John F. Kennedy, Boris Yeltsin, Indira Gandhi, William Tyndale, Tim Berners-Lee, Rosa Parks, Benazir Bhutto, J.S. Bach.
14th Dalai Lama, who is still alive today. Thank you, Guy, for standing up for parental rights that day.
Malcolm X, Lech Walesa, Charles de Gaulle, Joseph Stalin, Marie Curie. Yes, Marie Curie. She even has like a cartoon. Gustav Garibaldi, Gutenberg. The reason why we have books the way we have now, incidentally. Oliver Cromwell, Vladimir Lenin, Sigmund Freud, Mother Teresa, Bill Gates, Ernest Hemingway, John Lennon, Genghis Khan. Woohoo! Hail Selassie, John M. Keane, Susan B. Anthony, guys. Susan B. Anthony. George Orwell, Thomas Edison, Kofi Annan, Dwight Eisenhower, Eleanor Roosevelt, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Lyndon Johnson, William Wilberforce, Nikola Tesla, Alexander Fleming, Samuel Johnson, Eva Peron, Henry Ford, Princess Diana, Oscar Wilde, Beethoven, and Aung San Suu Kyi. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that right.
Okay, these are 100 people in a thing that changed the world. Some of them had the resources, like, for example, Alexander the Great. Some did not. Some are just little people that decided something, this thing needed to be done, and they did what they believed in, whether it was pasteurizing milk, or there probably is a Silk Road to China, let me go find it, okay, and they did it. Some did it alone, and this is important. Some did alone. Most started off alone and ended up with people helping them. And all of these were people who did not have the attitude of, well, they're just going to do what they're going to do, and there's nothing we can do about it. They're all people who went off, got off their tushes, and did something about it. I could go on and on and on about this subject because it really, really, really drives me crazy, this complacent sheep, they're just going to beat me, I'll just roll over and take it attitude that I keep meeting day after day after day with people who, in the same token, believe that one man changed the world. It just takes one person to stand up and start it. One person can do something alone, incidentally. But it really takes hold when everybody else stops going, please beat me, and stands with that person. And some people in this list, they changed the world for the good, and some people in this list, I really wish they had never been born at all. But the fact is, they did eat. And so can you, if you just stop rolling over and presenting your backside and saying, please do me, you're going to anyway, what can I do about it? Just don't roll over. You don't even have to be violent about it. The things I do are very passive and nonviolent, and I admit I'm a coward. I'm a big-time coward, and, that's how it is. But I'm still passionate enough to speak up in a Walmart and say, hey, you're wrong, and I can prove it. I can prove it. And to all those young people that were laughing at me in the Walmart because they thought it was so funny, my stance, because this attitude is part of why the world is the sorry place that it is right now.